A couple is kissing passionately. Another man, wearing a hat, arrives and calls for the woman, surprising the love affair. The woman checks outside and questions her husband about his early arrival. The other man hides inside the shower cubicle while the woman tries to distract her husband. The husband says that he forgot something and returned to get it. The husband approaches the wife. She was only wearing a towel wrapped around her body. He notices that she is sweating, and he inquires about her sweaty body. She tries to excuse herself, saying she had just arrived from the gym. He complains about his sweaty hands from touching her and asks her to get inside to wash his hands. The woman prevents him from entering the bathroom and tells him that she was going to help him wipe it with some wet tissues. He gets angry and starts suspecting that she was hiding someone inside the bathroom. He gets his pistol and threatens to kill whoever was there. The woman tries to prevent him from entering, but he ignores her and proceeds to investigate inside the bathroom. The love affair hides inside, and he fails to find it. He excuses himself for not trusting her and explains that he has been feeling too paranoid recently. The woman gets angry at him and tells him that she is really crossed because she can't trust her, and she tells him to leave. He gets angry and tells her that he is fed up. He tells her that he wants to find someone else who really loves her. Someone different from her leaves. He walks to his car but is suddenly stopped by a young man, shouting his name, Pablo. The young man tells him that he thought he was leaving without talking to him. Pablo tells the young man to calm down because he was going to talk to him but suddenly receives a call. He picks up his phone and answers it. The man on the phone addresses him as boss. Pablo asks him what happened, and the man proceeds by saying that there was something that he needed to see. The boss asks if it was pristine or worn out. The man says that it was totally fresh. The boss tells him that he is going to arrive soon, hangs up the phone, and proceeds to ask the young man what he needs. The young man tells him that he is having a hard time because he lost his job. The boss inquires, telling him that he should have worked harder because he gave him the job. The unemployed man begs him to just lend him some money, but he refuses and tells him that he has no job to offer him. He insists on telling the boss about it, telling him that he could work from home to pay for it. The boss finally agrees to give him a side gig and tells him that he is going to call him later to explain, because he is going to the body shop. Pablo enters his car and leaves. Later, while driving, he receives another phone call. He calls the man on the phone, Camilo, and asks why he wasn't picking up his call. Camilo excuses that he had no signal and tells the boss that he has something to tell him. Camilo says that he is keeping an eye on the boss' house and informs him that he saw a man trespassing on it, carrying some flowers. The boss, confused, says that he had just left his house 10 minutes ago and didn't see anything. Camilo then says that the man trespassed as soon as he left the house. The boss, angry, says that he is really angry because it was probably someone having an affair with his wife. Camilo asks if he and his bodyguard should do something about it. He says that he can deliver his head to him. The boss asks if that was a sensible thing to do, and Camilo says that he only wanted to honor him. The angry boss then allows him to carry on with his idea. Later, Camilo knocks on the door of another house, and the other man, who worked for the boss, allows him inside. He complains about Camilo's late arrival. Camilo explains that he had some problems to sort out and excuses himself for being so late. The man, wearing black clothes, shows him a woman sitting on the sofa and tells him that the delivery had just arrived. Camilo takes her with him to the attic. The other man lustfully watches the woman climbing upstairs. Later, the boss arrives. He welcomes everyone inside and tells Camillo to hurry up with the task he assigned him. Camillo changes the subject and tells him that there's something spectacular waiting for him upstairs, which he tells him to enjoy. The boss climbs upstairs to the attic. He finds a young woman sitting in bed, waiting for him. He praises the woman's body and calls her a work of art. He seduces the woman and tells her that this is the only time she will ever get a freebie like this. She asks him not to tell her father. He tells her not to worry about her dad. They start undressing themselves. The group of people downstairs hears the noise upstairs. The man, wearing black clothes, comments that the girl must be really talented. Later, the unemployed man approaches and knocks on the door. The bodyguard opens the door for him, and he sees Pablo with the young woman. Pablo tells him to go inside, and he shakes his hand. The boss admires the woman's body again and tells her that they are going to practice again. He asks the unemployed man if he has started doing his work. The employed man asks his boss why he has not yet told him what to do. The boss tells me that his job is to sell some substances. The young man tells him that it was dangerous. Pablo gets angry and tells him that every job is risky. He tells him that dangerous jobs can bring more money. The unemployed man, without much choice, agrees and shakes the boss' hands. He welcomes the young man to the team and tells his employers to teach him how to work there and show him the area. The young man follows the working group, but Pablo inquires about the cigar that he asked him to buy. He gives him the cigar and leaves. A couple of days later, Pablo bumps into Camillo in the streets and asks him what has happened to him because he hasn't seen him in ages. He calls him a liar because he promised him something and didn't do it. Camillo says that he came to him to talk exactly about that mission. He informs her that he heard the boss' wife talking about going to a hotel with her love affair. The boss takes out his glasses and asks him if he is sure about that, and Camillo confirms. He gives Pablo the hotel location and informs him that they are going there at night. Later, Pablo enters his house and spots his wife wearing revealing clothes. He asks his wife where she is going, and she says that she's going to the gym. He checks his wristwatch and tells her that she never goes to the gym so early. She gives him an excuse that her sister is ill and that she wanted to visit her on her way to the gym. The husband says he's sorry to hear that and offers her a lift. The woman denies the lift and says that she is going by taxi. The husband, reluctantly, tells her to take care of herself because it is dangerous. She tells him that she knows how to take care of herself and leaves. He slaps the table in anger. Later in the evening, Pablo parks his car in front of a big gate, and a bodyguard receives him and takes him inside. Later, the bodyguard points a gun at Pablo and tells him to release his gun. Pablo asks him how he knew his name. The threatening bodyguard gets angrier and tells him to follow his order. He takes Pablo hostage and another man wearing a blue shirt arrives. He asks what Pablo is doing there. Pablo says that he accidentally entered the wrong place. He says that he thought that his wife was having an affair in that location. He begs them to release him because it was just a misunderstanding. The man wearing a blue shirt shows him something on his phone and asks him if that looks familiar to him. He shows footage of the man having sexual encounters with his daughter. The woman shouts at the man and tells him that he has abused his daughter. Pablo begs for forgiveness. Camilo approaches from behind and surprises him. Pablo realizes that Camilo was possibly the one having an affair with his wife. Camilo shouts at Pablo, calls him names, and tells him that he is a stupid cheater. Camilo is talking to a woman next to a group of people. The young lady approaches her father and begs him to get her a cell phone because all of her friends have them. Camilo sees the girls and asks the woman if she is her friend. He suggests to the woman that she could work like she does. The girl approaches, and the woman suggests the idea to her, telling her that she could earn some money like her. The girls ask what she needs to do. Later, Camilo talks with a friend on his phone, asking him to bring him a flower bouquet without any names written in it, and he delivers it immediately. He approaches the woman and tells her that he is dealing with the situation, and instructs her to tell her husband that he just found the flowers if he asks. He kisses her and leaves. He realizes that his plan has worked and runs off to the location. He takes the secret footage of the intercourse with him and shows it to the girl's father. He grabs Pablo by the shirt and tells him that her wife no longer loves him and that he's done. Pablo cries. He steals Pablo's car keys and tells him that he won't need them anymore. The girl's father approaches Pablo, pointing a gun at him. Pablo begs him to spare him. The father shouts at him and shoots Pablo 3 times.